Today, in Altera Scientific Communication, we are going to show you the smallest base you need to survive in Subnautica. In Subnautica, you don't need much. You're all alone, in an alien, unknown, and aggressive world, but you are surrounded by fish, underwater and terrestrial flora and mineral resources. There is also a handful of carnivorous predators you can hide from and avoid. You don't need to hunt them down, you just have to be smart and put into practice the techniques that we have taught you from Altera. So you don't need a lot to survive and progress in Subnautica. Only resources, blueprints, and a minimal base to live, fabricate and storage, heal your wounds, and eventually communicate. Can LifePod 5 be the smallest base? No. First of all, its name is called a LifePod and not a base. That says it all, and I wouldn't need to explain anything else to you, but I am going to. Secondly, you can't move it around and take it wherever you might need it. What is your mission in Subnautica? Survive, adapt, gather resources, find blueprints, build tools and utilities, and eventually, when you figure out how to do it, escape from planet 4546b. Therefore, you have to be able to establish your base in any of the biomes you need to explore, and move it as your mission evolves. A base must allow its disassembly in the form of pieces of titanium, glass, copper, and other materials, and its temporary storage and its transfer and building in another place. The LifePod does not allow it to be done, so it should not be considered a base. In addition, LifePod 5 is wrecked. Although you have repaired it and it seems healthy, the truth is that it has suffered a significant impact against water, and it is no longer reliable. So, how should your base be? It should be as small as possible, to avoid the waste of materials and energy. It must be practical, functional, and adequate to your needs. You will not have visitors. Your family is not on planet 4546b, so you won't need a dining table, or a family room, or anything like that. You don't have coworkers, clients, or employees right now, so you won't need meeting rooms, reception, or common areas either. You also won't need a recreation room or leisure area, because in Subnautica you will need every second to progress and you won't have time for leisure. Every moment you'll have, you must dedicate to the fulfilling of your mission. Nor will a computer be necessary, since you have a PDA that you can feed with the information that you scan, and that will contain all the information you may need. For your daily rest you will need a place to lay and regain strength. But you won't need a feather bed or satin sheets, only something practical and simple. Now let's go with food. It's almost the most important to think about. Your daily caloric intake must be balanced and sufficient, and you must hydrate frequently. The bladderfish can keep you hydrated and fed, and it is everywhere. Therefore, you won't need any water purifying or filtering machine. Cooked bladderfish can be a sustainable source of hydration and feeding. You can complete your diet with cooked peepers, boomerangs, or the most caloric reginalds, and terrestrial plants like Chinese potatoes, bulbo trees, marble melons, and lantern fruits. And the omnipresent gel sack. And oxygen is essential for your survival, and as you should already know, you can obtain it from the oxygen tanks that you can build in the fabricator, as well as from the bladderfish and from the brain corals. You won't need more at this point. Energy. Your base requires a sustainable, cheap, and sufficient source of energy. If you can place your base near a geothermal source, we recommend installing it outside. If not, a properly positioned solar panel may suffice. We are already focusing the shot and getting closer to what your base has to be, the minimum you need. You will have to build a first aid kit inside, a fabricator and a modification station to make all the tools and equipment you may need, and a message receiver to advance your mission in Subnautica. You will need to charge your batteries and power cells too. And a place to store your resources and tools. What else do you need? Little more really. Everything else are luxuries that you cannot and should not afford, and that you will not have time to miss. Well, now that you know how it should be, we present to you the smallest base you need to survive in Subnautica. Here it is. We have built this base in Tree Cove, a space free of predators, and a central area of the map, with access to energy sources and natural resources. It's a one-room base, made with a basic titanium cylindrical compartment, the smallest possible building pieced together with the L-shaped compartment, but more versatile for this purpose. It can be practicable from both ends, although in this case we will only build an access through one of them, to have more useful space inside. The compartment should not have windows that could weaken it, although on this occasion we will build it out of glass to have a better visibility of the inside. We are going to use geothermal energy, the source of energy we consider the best for you. In any case, here the base cannot be powered by solar energy, for obvious reasons. Inside you have at your disposal the first aid kit, the fabricator, and the receiver. You also have a comfortable chair that you can use to work, rest, read, and sleep. Your base also needs a small cabinet to temporarily store and used equipment, tools, and resources. The base is equipped with a battery charger and a power cell charger. It is also important to have a modification station. And that's it, this could be your base. Enjoy and make the most of it. And remember that less is more.